And great day, Gary Dawning, everyone. Of course, I am Dr. Marion Ford, your lifestyle alchemist and transformation engineer of mindset and money mastery. And this is Exponential Existence Media's Thursday Night Thought. I'm your host, and we're going to be here sharing with you some information that is designed to empower you, to enlighten you, and to guide you closer to the place you want to be. Tonight, I am so excited because I get to do some of my favorite things, which is actually talk about something that I grew up with that was a very big part of me, which was like storytelling. So I came across the story of the princess and the frog. Now, I don't know how y'all say, people say the frog and the princess, or the princess and the frog. I say the princess, right? Because she appears in the story first. So tonight I wanted to talk about that a little bit, and we're going to get started, and we're going to start having the most opportunity for us to share from this story, because within stories, when we go into our place of imagination, that's when we remember the power we have within. With our imagination, we can begin to unleash the highest parts of innovation. I think of the story of Mr. Marconi, who founded the radio, who created the radio, I should say. And one of the things I found about him is that they thought he was crazy. They actually had him committed to an insane asylum because he had the vision. He chose to speak about what he was doing and where he was going, only to find himself being victimized and considered to be someone that was insane. And the result is that now we're talking to each other here on Facebook Live, and that we're listening to our favorite stations and all kind of podcasts in our car. The ability to transfer waves from one place, sound from one place to another, to hear sound and project it into another place. Oh, that's something, a whole nother conversation, a whole nother day. Join me for one of my mentorships, mimosas, and mastery sessions, and then, or a lunch with a purpose, and then we can really dive deep into that. But tonight, I just want you to come in. I want you to join us. I want you to tag a couple of friends and make sure they are aware that you are present and that you are alive and you are ready to make it happen. Oh, yes, you are. Absolutely, positively, so you are. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and invite a few people into the space. Those of you that are part of my various networking groups, welcome to all of you that are joining us here. As you are coming in, please go ahead and take a moment or two or three or four and go ahead and tell us your city and state. And of course, you have to tell me a celebration. I mean, it wouldn't be a Thursday night thought session with Dr. Marion Afua if you didn't come in and tell me your celebration. So I'll tell you my celebration. My celebration is that this is my first time in a long time when I actually slept in the entire weekend. I purposely did not book any early morning appointments. Even though I was home, I didn't go anywhere until I really felt up to it. And one of the things I did this weekend is I got to reconnect with some friends, and some of you probably saw some of the video of that, of me going to different places with friends on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was just really a great experience. And as you can tell in my voice, I'm still recovering from some of the fun laughter and joy and staying up late and just really enjoying life, enjoying friends, enjoying the process. So as you're coming in, just make sure you tell me your city and state and give me your celebration, because if you don't remember the celebrations, if you don't have the attitude of gratitude, little things creep in, they begin to eat away at you. As they say, it doesn't take one ant to take away the elephant, but a whole colony can definitely bring that elephant to its knees or more. So go ahead and type in your celebration along with your city and state. Welcome to everyone that is joining me. I am delighted that you can come out and join us on this Saturday, on this Thursday. Wow, I'm jumping ahead, right? This Thursday night thought session on tonight. Of course, I am Dr. Marion Afua, lifestyle alchemist and transformation engineer of mindset and money mastery. We are here every Thursday. We are coming back on Saturdays for the Saturday set down, and then we're here on Sunday for the Sunday sessions, which are really great. And I want more people to think about the Sunday sessions, because that's when I really get into content and process. Content and process is what we do. We talk about some things that people want to know about, but they just don't have the time or the energy to do it. It's a quick 30-minute lesson where you get a chance to get a session with a top-notch coach and trainer on something that you need to take you to the next level. Much like the Thursday thought. The Thursday thought is really about you being able to embrace who you are and realize the greatness that you have already inside of you. Despite all the other things that are going on externally, you're able to focus in on the Thursday thought. So the thought tonight is that everything that appears to be may not necessarily be so. And I'm going to say that because this story of the frog and the princess has this beautiful princess, and to those of you that have watched the various versions, they have come into a space where there is a young girl who's a princess who's walking through her garden, enjoying the day, and she has some piece of jewelry. Some say jewelry, some say it was a ball, some say it was a piece of an ornament or a prize that she was wearing, that it was her crown. But no matter what it was, guess what? She's walking in this space, right? She's walking in this space and she's enjoying herself. And she gets so involved in the moment that it falls into the pond that is on this property. Now, many of us have been walking on journeys and we find ourselves tripping. We might find ourselves losing some things. If you like me, you lose things probably about 3 times a week, right? And then you try to figure out how can you get it. So I'm sure if I can bring her into modern times and I can begin to imagine, and you can just take a couple of deep breaths and begin to imagine with me just for these next 30 minutes, what it must have felt like for her to be in a position when you lose something that is so valuable and so important to you that it falls away from you and you think that it's gone forever. And then she comes around and she's sitting there and she's pining over the fact that her crown, her jewelry, her wand has fallen into the pond. And then all of a sudden she hears some type of splashing, right? A hippity, hoppity, hippity, hop, ribbit, hip, ribbit, hip, hop. And it's going and it's going and it's going. And she turns to see, what is that? What is that? Should she call for her guards to come and save her because someone is coming to harm her as a princess? But instead, she decides to move a little bit of the foliage and see that it's a small frog. A frog, insignificant, not looking much like any other frog, except for it asked her the question, why are you so sad? And she says, my crown has fallen into the pond. And he steps back and he says, Ribbit, can't you swim, princess? You are a princess after all. And he begins to question her about her abilities. He begins to get her to become innovative about the way in which she's seeing this situation. And she responds, of course I can swim, but then I would get my garments dirty. I would get them wet. My hair would no longer be perfect. And so she said, well, why can't you get it for me? After all, I am a princess. And so the frog, in all his grandeur of being an insignificant, small little frog, decides that he's going to say, Ribbit, Ribbit, if I get this for you, princess, you must also do something for me. If I dive into the bottom of this pond and retrieve your crown, I want something back from you. Now, initially, the princess was like, yes, I'll do it. Anything to get my crown back. She wasn't even thinking about what he could possibly ask because after all, she just only saw this frog as being insignificant, not meeting the criteria, not being something that she should worry about, possibly even considering that she would get what she wants and just toss it to the side and walk away. Now, depending upon the version of your story, what happens next may be a little bit different. So the princess tells the frog, yes, please go ahead and get it for me. Please go and get it for me. This is so important to me. And so the princess allows him to go into the water. The frog jumps into the water. He swims, he's swimming, and he's holding on, and he goes out and he gets her crown. And he swims back to the top and he puts it on hold. And he begins to tell this journey. And he says, here you are, princess. Here's your crown. And when she gets the crown, one of the things he says to him is, thank you. And she begins to walk away. And he says, but wait, princess, you told me that I can have anything I want. And she says, you're right. And he begins to listen. And the frog sits back on his hind legs and says, I need you to hear this story. So the prince begins to tell her the story of how he was really a prince and that he was under the spell of an evil witch. Y'all know my words about that. And how she turned him into a frog and that he could only be returned back with a kiss from his one true love. The princess went, oh, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way you could be this. You're just an insignificant frog floating around in water. What would make you a prince and what could you have possibly done? And the frog simply replied, you gave me your word, princess. Ribbit. You gave me your word, princess. Ribbit. And as a result of that, she scooped up the frog in her hand and she took him back into the castle with her. When he got there, she began to go about her daily duties. She left the frog perched right there in her room, not thinking more about it, went about her business. Only then, when she returned, did the frog began to ribbit and croak as loud as he could. Ribbit, 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 rrr, rrr. I could only imagine that, right? This loud croaking. And people begin to ask, why is there a frog croaking in the castle? And so she was forced to tell people why he was there. And then she began to take him around with her everywhere she went. Everywhere she went, she began to take this frog and they began to become friends and they began to have conversations. And she began to see herself seeing things in a different perspective. She began to understand his story a little bit more and see that he was more than just an insignificant frog. He was someone of value. He had something to offer that she had realized she had been missing, which was friendship, which was camaraderie, which was someone who told her the truth. Someone who was not afraid to put her into a position of integrity. So she and the frog continued on their journey. She and the frog continued to grow. And so the frog and she became close friends until finally the time came for the princess to do what all princesses have to do, and that is make a decision to be a princess by marrying another prince. When that day came, the frog was listening. Uh-oh, story is coming. The frog began to listen to her, and he said to her, princess, why don't you just kiss me and marry me? She said, but you're a frog. He said, but I am a frog who's much more than a frog. I'm also a prince. But she refused to do that. She thought it was just a joke. She basically merely reduced him down to only being her friend, being someone that was her friend, someone that was still not good enough to provide for her, although he had been providing for her this whole time. So the frog, in his sadness, hopped out of the castle while she slept and went back to the pond. The next morning, the princess wakes up and she's looking for the frog, but he's gone. And she goes down to the pond and he begins to talk to her. And she's like, frog, where are you? Where are you, frog? Why would you leave? And he rises back up and he said, ribbit, why are you here, princess? I'm only a frog, an insignificant frog. I have no contribution and nothing that you desire, nothing that is good for you. And her response was that that's not true, frog. And she began to have an inward conversation and a worthy conversation with this frog. And at the end, he says, well, let's let this be so you can become the queen. And she gave him a kiss and he turned into a handsome prince. Oh my goodness. He turned into the very thing that she wanted. He turned to the very thing that she wanted. She wanted a prince that knew her. She wanted a prince that was handsome. She wanted a prince that would be able to make her a queen. She wanted a prince that was going to be able to be in her corner and know her likes and dislikes. She didn't want someone that would just want her because of her title. Oh my goodness. See, many of us are just like that princess. We come across people and they don't fit what we've asked for, the desire that we have, the vision that we think we understood, and so we dismiss them. Or we let them be in our space long enough until something comes along that looks exactly like we're thinking. I don't know about y'all. Am I the only person that's ever done that? Am I the only person that's ever seen something, ignored it only because it was it felt like it was not exactly what I wanted. It was not exactly what I wanted. It didn't come in the right packaging. It appeared to look a lot older, a lot younger. It had a different way of talking. It didn't seem like it was hanging out with all the other things that it was used to hanging out with. But it was exactly what we wanted. Exactly what was necessary in that moment to get us to the next place. So my conversation with you tonight is simply this. What are you walking past in order to get to what you think is for you? What are you walking past in order to get to what you think, not know, is for you? Now, that's a deep question, because what it's saying to you is it's going to ask you to really survey and see how you are going to fulfill the processes of yourself, the life journeys of yourself, the story that you agreed to complete and to write and complete and bring to reality for you, for the world, because we're all waiting for it. What are you walking over? Type it in the room and just let me know. Just tell me. If you know that you've stepped up some stuff, say, I have high step. Just say hashtag high step. That's what you did. It's called the high step when you keep your head in the air and you just step high. Absolutely, positively. Because you begin to forget. Just hashtag high step. HIGH step. Got it? Got it? Got it? I know I'm not the only person that has ever high stepped over some things that I needed to take a second look at, that I was getting everything that was required. I was getting service. I was getting the information. I was being fed. Hey, thank you everyone who's joining us. I was getting everything that's fed for me, that was prepared for me, that was in alignment with me. And I found myself high stepping over it because it didn't look pretty enough. It wasn't shiny enough. It didn't talk fast enough. It didn't have the right amount of cash. It didn't come in the right enough box or with a big enough bow. Absolutely, positively. Absolutely, positively. It has been a continuum for us. So if we're going to do that, if we're going to begin to exemplify who we are and where we're going, we got to start high stepping so fast. We got to start taking some small, assured steps that are going to get us exactly where we want to be. And that means that we have to begin to be honest. We have to be honest and keep it A more than 92, 100 when it comes to getting exactly what we want, to match our words with our wants, which are part of our vision because it's already inside of us. Yep. That's how it goes. That's what it is. That's where it comes from. So if you high step in like the princess and you just say, this is just a simple frog, even though she enjoyed this conversation, she had forgotten. She had gotten so comfortable with having him around in that role that she forgot it was exactly what she wanted, what she asked for. But yet she was distracted by the exterior or the wrapping of that thing. Absolutely, positively, so it is. So my goal for you tonight is to consider, what do you want? What words have you spoken into your life and over your life that are guiding you and having you to do the high step when it should be a short step for your business, for your relationships, for your career, and for your family. Because one of the things I like to share with people is that your experience is your experience. I can't negate that. I may be able to add a little bit to it to make it a little more fancy, but once you've had that experience, if I'm not there, that's your experience. I can't make it better. I can't make it worse. I can only acknowledge that it's a valid experience. So if you want something and that previous experience was not what you wanted, then you want to begin to focus on the thing that you want. If you want love, then you focus on those things that represent love. If you want to release body weight, then you need to focus on those things that are releasing body weight, that are releasing habits that are not going to help you release body weight, so that you can release body weight. If you are always angry, if you are always distracted, if your business is fledgling, if you are finding yourself on an economic and financial treadmill where you're good this week and then you got to run some more to make sure you stay good. If that is you, then you need to focus on those things that are stable, that are consistent, that require discipline so that you can avoid that economic and financial treadmill. If you are looking at opportunities for business, you cannot be so busy focusing on the end result that you forget to take the steps that are necessary. Now, that might sound contradictory to some of you, but I'm going to put it to you this way. The princess knew she wanted to become queen. She knew that required her getting married, according to the story. But yet she looked very much over the very prince that was put in her hand, because it didn't look like it was supposed to. So she looked the part, she attracted other princes, but she was not content and happy because it was not what was needed and necessary for that moment. Does that make sense? Absolutely, absolutely. Let me know you're all right. I'm not the princess. Hashtag, I'm not the princess. Hashtag, I'm not the princess. Absolutely, positively. Because what we're doing when you're doing that, when you're focusing, you know my motto, I focus, I focus, I focus. When you are focusing 100% on the thing that you want, there's something that begins to happen in that moment. When you begin to focus with your eyes, your ears begin to listen. When you begin to focus with your eyes, your ears begin to listen. Your mind begins to pull those things and those opportunities into your space to confirm what it is you are focusing and looking for. That's why whenever you lose something, you should relax and allow it to tell you where it is. Focus on the keys. Focus on the piece of paper. And then it pops up. And you're like, I just looked over there 5 times. And someone who was not engaged will go right to a space, pick it up. Because their focus is different. Their focus is not saying, I lost the keys. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my gosh, how could I lose my keys? I'm going to be late. That's not at all what it's doing. That's not how focus works. Focus is designed to be able to create a oneness in your body. It is designed to create a oneness in your thoughts. And it is designed to create a oneness in your actions, your thoughts, your body, and your actions. Because if your thoughts and your body are in opposition, Grand Rising, if your thoughts and your actions are in opposition, then it's going to prevent you from the opportunity for you to get the results you want. Like the princess, she was so consumed with everything else, she overlooked, she high-stepped the frog that was giving her the very thing she wanted. So tonight, I want to help you out with that. We're wrapping up our 30-minute session on tonight for the Thursday Thought. Again, we are here every Thursday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Arizona time, currently Pacific. And we are going to be here every Thursday, and then we're going to come back on Saturday for the Saturday set down, and then on Sunday for the Sunday sessions. But on tonight, my only intention for you tonight that I want you to take away, because you've already told me you're not going to high step. You've already told me that you're going to begin to exemplify a higher frequency of you not high stepping, but being assured in your steps. You're going to begin to focus on what you want. You're going to begin to trust it, that it is necessary in this moment for you to have those things, and not look over the way to everyone else to try to figure out exactly where yours is at, when you're going to be looking assuredly in the path of what's available to you right now. One of those things that's available to you right now is me. As your lifestyle and transformation engineer of mindset and money mastery, I'm here with you. Why do I emphasize the mindset? Because your thoughts are a preset or a response or a byproduct of your mind. If your mindset is about defeat, if your mindset is about absenteeism, if your mindset is about you believing that you can't have it, that it's not available to you, that no one is interested in you, that you cannot have this opportunity, you don't look like this, you don't sound like this, money has never been a thing for you. At that moment you begin to think that, that's the moment it begins to manifest. So why not think differently? Why not begin to attack those paradigms the way they've been attacking you for the last 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, 30 years? Let's just be real. Let's keep it more than 892, 100. And let's just say, I'm here. Maybe I'm that insignificant frog that you've passed over several times, unaware of exactly what I have to offer. What I have to offer you are opportunities for you to increase the frequency of you getting more of what you want based upon what you, I said you, desire and are willing to exert energy to have. And that energy comes in a form of you taking time out to go within, for you to change some patterns and begin to do more responsive actions versus reactive actions, for you to begin to consider and gain a greater awareness and a consciousness around your money, around your conversations, around the affiliations that you have, and to let go of some of the things that are preventing you from going within and experiencing your highest and greatest self. Well, Marian, that sounds real fancy. Hashtag sounds fancy. Somebody hashtag sounds fancy for me. Hashtag sounds fancy. Hashtag sounds fancy, y'all. Absolutely, positively. If that sounds fancy to you, well, let me tell you, it should sound fancy, because I'm not an insignificant frog, but I am more than a princess. I'm actually a queen friend of yours. I'm also going to provide for you the opportunity for you to examine that part of you, that inner healing that needs to happen for you. When am I going to do this? I'm going to do that by inviting you to my up and coming retreat called Mastering Me. Mastering Me is all about you getting inside of your own personal mindset. Those tricks and those little trip ups that we seem to go through, that process that is preventing us from having the opportunities for us to engage into a moment of assuredness, so we don't high step over the points that we need to, that we don't downplay our intelligence, our beauty, our wisdom, that we can find the components that are going to bring us to a new level of existence called the exponential existence. Exactly. Positively, so it is. So in that moment we begin to do that, I want you to understand that we are fully 100% committed to that. So if you want to join me, again, just like it says on the screen, I want you to go ahead and post. Go to that site, bit.ly/mastering me, capital M, me. Master you, master my exponential. That's your exponential. That's my exponential. That's her exponential and his exponential, all of our exponentials. Because just like in math, that exponent has a base number, and then it's expanded by the number that's in the power position. I want to spend a weekend with you to help you unleash that power position so that you can have exactly what you want, the prince, the princess, that queendomship, that kingship, whatever it takes for you to be able to have your exponential existence. So thank you all for joining me on tonight. If you enjoy what you hear, go ahead and go to our website as well and connect with me if you're not on my mailing list. Go ahead and connect with me so that you can start getting more notifications and have opportunities to meet with myself, my mentors, my coaches, other friends that are powerhouse coaches, trainers, and speakers that are always giving and sharing. Why? Because we're in our wealthy place, just like you are. We're just going to show you how to master it in such a way that it begins to dominate and create the world that you desire. Are you ready? Thanks for joining me on tonight. Again, this has been the Thursday Night Thought Session. I have been your host, Dr. Marion Afua, your lifestyle alchemist and transformation engineer of Mindset and Money Mastery. Our company is called Exponential Existence. Find us on the web, follow us on Facebook. We'll talk to you again soon. Good night.